Hello everyone, welcome to a Halloween special of Anime Amigos, unless you've watched this the day after it's gone out, in which case it's not Halloween anymore.
Happy November.
You can only watch this today, fuck off.
Yes.
Or you can watch it next year, the exact same day.
For the good of mankind, it's being deleted today.
Um,
And uploaded.
I'm Calvin Atkinson, the Pokemon Punk, and today it's not really me, I'm a Zoroark.
Everything except our jokes against Calvin are being deleted after 24 hours.
Yeah.
I'm Risa Gundam Guru. I live to make Cal's life a misery.
I'm Ren the JoJo Genius, and I don't know that much about JoJo's as it turns out on repeat attempts.
And I'm... fuck, 1 second. Drop my bottle. Drop my water. Give me my drink. Give me a sec.
Oh no. How ghastly.
This is one for the blooper reel.
What the fuck is it? What the fuck is it?
What's happening here? Oh. Oh. Oh my god. This is a transformation.
Hi! I'm the Vanguard Vagrant. I come from the future. And I'm here to give you a dire warning. Whatever you do, do not do this episode. This episode of Anime Amigos, this topic, will bring dire consequences upon the future. I'm talking World Wars 3, 4, and 5 combined. I am talking Armageddon. I'm talking Terminator. Not one of the good movies. I'm warning you now. Dire things will happen if you make it do. For the love of God, do not do High School DxD versus High School of the Dead. I'm warning you now. The feminists will be angry. The gooners will be even angrier. That's the topic you're doing today, right?
No.
Oh shit, really?
No.
Wait, give me some.
Which timeline?
We're doing Horror Anime 2.
Oh fuck, wrong timeline. My bad.
Fuck's sake.
Right.
Anyone want to know something about the future?
Yes.
What are my chances in Stuttgart, discount Morpheus?
Well, obviously Anime Amigos is no longer a thing. We got very heavily cancelled after that one episode, and times are different for us. Reese is a taxi driver.
Okay.
Fair.
Ren is a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
He doesn't have kids. He just bought too many
I'd
cats.
stay at home.
And Calvin, you died in a house fire 3 years after today. It was a very easy escapable house fire, but you didn't want to leave without all your amiibos.
Yep.
I think you got up to Gold Mario until the flames took you.
To be fair, Gold Mario was further than I think I would have gone.
And the plastic amiibo formed a giant wall that prevented you from leaving.
Okay, go find the right timeline.
How
Okay.
far in the future are you from?
About 4 years.
Okay, first.
Cool.
4 years, I can see that. Cool.
Also,
for those of you wondering, time travel was not invented. My autism just became so severe. I'm now able to transcend space and
I
time.
told you not to take the Tylenol!
oh no, he's had to admit
But
today that's not...
But it tastes so good.
He's had to admit today that's bullshit.
What? Wait, he actually admitted he was
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
Well,
Hey!
okay.
So that was a waste of everyone's time.
Back to the right timeline. See you later.
Okay.
Tell me he didn't knock the microphone.
He didn't. Just DVDs.
Found it. Did I miss anything?
No.
I think you're safe.
No.
Okay.
No, but I will say you should try sunglasses more in the future.
I'll just say actually.
Random comment, but okay.
You look. I imagine you have a large penis in the future. It certainly imagines that.
And we're off the air in Russia. Good night, everybody.
Hello, HR. Very random comment.
Okay, so we did this. We kind of did a horror anime podcast a couple of years ago,
Many, many years ago.
but there's a whole bunch more to talk about. I mean, that was the one that introduced me to Higurashi because I watched it for Elliot's choice.
You're welcome.
I can't remember what I spoke about last time.
None of us can,
No.
but that was the only thing I remember about it.
I'm pretty sure Reese talked about High School of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was which is a good show.
Yeah, no, unfortunately we'll never get a continuation.
And
Did I talk about JoJo's? I might have done it.
yeah, part one I think you did because there's horror
Oh
elements.
yeah, no, I think it did.
Because you don't watch any horror anime, and you've done it again this time.
No problem. No, well, actually, no. I think this is a horror anime, and I'll explain my reason
Disagree.
why.
You would have had more of a basis picking anything.
So reserve judgment.
I'm gonna
until
be
I
honest.
give my
I'm
explanation.
gonna be honest. Should have picked JoJo's Part 1 again.
Reserve judgments. I promise. I've got some good arguments.
Well,
Here.
if I would just pick Yu-Gi-Oh! There's so many vampire characters over the different seasons.
True.
Or there's
You could pick Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They fight a vampire in that.
And that's
or
what-
you could have picked the one where they have the thing on their forehead that steals their soul if they lose.
Seal of Orichalcos.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
didn't watch that far in the anime.
Bastard.
That arc has a name.
The Awaken the Dragons. Do you know, I genuinely, there's a slight tangent. I saw a video of someone playing at a fun Yu-Gi-Oh event, and they played Seal of Orichalcos, and someone ran along and drew that on their forehead,
Ah, no way. That's awesome.
and then played the music in the background while they were doing it.
Some people have the correct amount of dedication for stuff.
Okay, so, just for the purposes of this one, I'll go ahead and say what we're all talking about. And before we each one, we can decide in advance if we're going to talk about spoilers or not.
I will talk about minor ones, but I really want you three to watch it, so I'm going to try
So
and voice
you
them
have
second.
Dark Gathering, minor
Indeed.
spoilers.
Indeed.
Reese,
I've got Hellsing Ultimate, and since the series is so short, I pretty much have to talk about spoilers.
heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
I have Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
And minor or major spoilers.
I will avoid spoilers, but if I do veer into them, I'll tell you. But I'll avoid.
I'm going for another major spoilers.
Okay.
Because I want to talk about the ending.
Sure.
Okay. We always start with Reese.
Yeah.
Hellsing Ultimate, which I would not recommend as a binge anime for Halloween, considering how long it is.
Yes, it's quite a deceptive show because it says only 10 episodes, so you can breeze through that in like a day or two.
They're all 40 minutes long.
40 to 60 minutes long.
Yeah.
OVAs, isn't it?
Yes, OVAs.
But when did it come out now?
It started Ultimate in 2006,
Really?
but
Wow.
the very first anime, the original one, was 2001.
That's it, because I watched that one. I haven't finished Ultimate. I've never got it.
Yeah, and the manga itself came out in 97.
Wow.
So it's quite an old series now that a lot of people forget about. That's how old it is.
Funnily enough, Hellsing is the anime that introduced me to Nightwish because I watched an AMV of Alucard and it had Higher Than Hope
Of course.
from Nemo.
So the basic premise of Hellsing Ultimate, it's
It's about the Hellsing organisation based in the UK defending the Great British Isles from paranormal threats, vampires and ghouls.
Indeed.
And,
or as they're now known, Reform UK.
And yes, and yet the royal family still exists in this universe.
yes. God damn Lizzie.
Well, I mean, she's gone now. Or is she?
Dun dun dun.
No, she met.
That's the true horror.
She was Alucard all the time!
Oh my god, it makes sense.
No, basically, she had what? No. To be fair, she had one meeting with Liz Truss, and that's like a garlic. No, fuck this, I'm out.
Are you saying that Liz Truss is a secret member of the Hellsing organisation?
No, she's too stupid for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, the original. So this is obviously kind of a remake, but also finishing. The original's done by Digimation and Gonzo. This one, Hellsing Ultimate,
It's actually spread across 3 different studios who did this one.
yes, it was, yeah. 'Cause
So it's State Light in episodes 1 to 4, Madhouse 5 to 7,
and
and
Graphinica did.
8 to 10.
Wait, so this was a 6-year release window for this?
Yeah, they really took a long time making this
I had
one.
no
Yeah,
idea.
and so I broke down my studios and what we may recognise these other studios from. So State Light did Log Horizon.
Okay.
They did the Red Ranger Isekai we watched.
Yes.
And
So-
also, what was the first anime we discussed that caused a big rift in our...
Wise Man's Grandchild.
World's
No.
End.
That's it, Cal.
Whoa, no
Yeah.
way.
So episodes
Wow.
1 to 4 is still by the team behind World End.
Can I also point out?
What are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us?
They also did Fairy Tale as well.
Only some parts of it, though.
But
So-
I'll tell you one of the weird. Also, Somali and the Forest Spirit. We liked
Yeah,
that
that's
show.
good.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, Log Horizon is their second highest rated show, which is weird to me because you could probably hate me for this. I think Log Horizon's worse than Sword Art Online.
No, I hard disagree with that.
I've not seen Lock Horizon and I'm immediately disagreeing with you.
Okay, no, it's not. Okay, I won't
Sword
go
Art
that far.
Online is fucking atrocious.
Okay, I won't go that far, but I will say Log Horizon is not very good.
It's all right. It's just not that memorable.
But this thing, they have no urgency for anything. They don't want to get out of the game world.
Reese,
They don't want to,
what did the other studios make?
So 5-7 we got Madhouse.
Which
well,
we all know.
we all know Madhouse.
So it's Paranoid Agent, Death Note, Claymore, Beyblade.
Yeah.
That's it.
Beyblade, no way.
and of course,
Free Ren.
Hunter.
Hunter and Free Ren.
Hajime no Ippo. Wow.
Yeah, and then one anime me and Ren know very well. Mr. Tony Gower, Middle Management Blues.
Yes.
And
Hell
of course, two that Ren could have done over this: Monster and Parasite.
Yeah. I was thinking about Parasite.
or even just Overlords. And then
Yeah,
studio, Graficina, they did what our first anime we covered.
Oh, this is Jimmy Tyson.
Yeah, Ginny Tyson,
Wow.
Zell Diablo. They
Wow.
did that. They did Love, the only mecha anime I watched at the time.
I watched like one episode of that
I watched
before
that.
realizing it was season 5.
Yeah, and then the biggest surprise I found out, they did all the animation and cutscenes for Xenoblade, the entire franchise.
That's crazy.
But they also did. They actually currently have an anime out this season, that Disney Twisted Wonderland animation.
Yeah.
Though that's mainly done by the Umeta company. They're support animators for it.
Yeah, which is funny enough because the voice actor for Alucard, I was going to mention later on, Crispin Freeman, is actually in that new Disney anime.
Is he?
So he's linked back to it.
Now,
No way.
now,
Wow, that's
that
amazing.
being said, Crispin Freeman is one of my favourite dub voice actors because,
Yeah.
Because he only watches dub.
but he's because he's done some great roles in the past. Like he's actually, I think his best performance though is still Eureka 7 when he played Holland in that. He's perfect casting for that. But Hellsing's really good as Alucard.
Yeah, he's fantastic. It's quite a darker role for him because
Yeah.
considering his most other famous roles at the minute are Winston in Overwatch, and
Wow.
and the Stone Hashira from Demon Slayer. Now the tall guy
Yes.
is always crying.
Yeah.
That's also him.
Wow.
Yeah, Integra, I think it's Victoria Harwood who voices.
Yeah, so I looked her up. She's only had a very few minor anime appearances like Paranoid Agent and Monster. But apart from that, she's mostly an author. Most of the cast from this anime haven't done a lot of stuff out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not a lot of names that I recognise out of it.
So Sarah Satori is done by Katie Gray. Hellsing was her only anime work.
Wow.
Apart from that, she's a singer.
Interesting.
And which explains why she has a very unconvincing accent in it.
Yes.
Like, I actually, to be fair, I genuinely didn't know she was called Ceres for ages because they always kept referring to her as Police Girl.
Yeah. And then one of the most random ones is the voice actor for Walter in this, Ralph Lister. You probably never recognise him for anything else, but he was in Batman vs Superman.
No way.
He was in the film as a scientist who discovered kryptonite is effective against Kryptonians. So he's on screen showing kryptonite into Zod's dead body,
Wow.
which is how they got to Doomsday.
That is random.
I mean, this was clearly a stepping stone to the height of that career.
The thing about Hellsing is it's a bloodbath of an anime.
Which is a huge difference from the very original Hellsing, which was quite gore-less.
Yeah, actually. I remember that.
I remember watching.
So most of the vampires that crumbled to dust or faded away off screen.
Yeah, this show. No. It is viscera everywhere.
Yeah, and because I think so. The reason obviously Ultimate is the thing is because the anime veered away from its manga path, right?
Yeah, so I may notice the original Hellsing anime covered up to the Valentine brothers attacking the mansion.
Oh, that's like 2 episodes into
Yeah,
Ultimate.
that's
Yeah,
they
that's-
diverge completely.
Yeah,
on.
that's one problem I have with Hellsing Ultimate, which is that they do skip quite a lot that was shown in the original anime.
Yeah.
But it's rather like it's something it shares in common with Brotherhood. It really assumes you've watched the original.
Well, especially because so much of the original is filler and not in the manga anyway.
Yeah.
So in original anime, there is no millennium, there is no Nazis, nothing is as mentioned.
I remember watching Ultimate. I was like, "Fucking Nazis!"
Yeah, so he said the whole storyline for the original anime is an evil shadow government is creating microchips that turn people into vampires.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a portrayal on the drug cartel.
Yeah.
Fuck me! This is where those morons who during COVID came from. This is where they got their ideas from.
Of microchips altering DNA.
Oh god, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
They're getting their ideas from Hellsing.
Yeah, from 2001.
Humanity was a failed experiment.
So it's just completely different otherwise.
But it's such a good Halloween watch if you can get this because the animation is top notch in there.
Yeah, it is good. For the first part, the first 5 episodes by Satellite, I noticed on my rewatch there's a lot of static posing, which is drawn directly from the manga panels, and CGI blood everywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
It wasn't until Madhouse came into episode 5 onwards they actually got more in-depth animation and movements, bringing fluidity to it.
Yeah, because that's where sort of the more elaborate fights in the series happen in the latter half, isn't it?
It isn't just like one massive arc though. That whole Siege of London thing.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, well, when's this going to sort of change? It's like, no, this is the one fight scene.
Yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
It's
let's
just
be honest, you can't really go much further than Nazis.
Nazis and vampires invading London.
Yeah.
Again, insert Reform UK joke here.
Yeah, so it's a freeway battle in London between Hellsing, the Vatican, and the Nazis.
A three-way war. No matter who wins, we lose.
It's 40k all over again.
It's such like it makes me because I think it's one of the last kind of shows really to do that level of hyperviolence until we've had recently. Like,
it is like the throwback to the 90s hyperviolent hypersex.
I mean, there were other. There are definitely other shows that were like incredibly bloody. Like I remember specifically. There were things like Parasite. There's Bloodsea. Corpse Party is the goriest anime I've ever seen.
But the thing is with those ones, they were the exception, not the rule. Hellsing Ultimate, I feel like this was in the planning stages when that thing was a craze and they never got... I don't think this ever actually saw... There's an OVA, so it never saw television broadcast in Japan.
No.
So that, to me, is like, right, we don't have to broadcast this on television. We can get away with whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, and it's really funny because I bought my original Blu-ray copy and it's full of adverts for Funimation.
Wow.
So even when you put it on the PS4 and on the PS5, it brings all that screen saying the preview. It says, watch more on Funimation.
Oh,
I still find it really weird when you watch like some old anime and the old Funimation logo comes up and it just goes, you should be watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just before watching some Gooner anime. I really shouldn't, Funimation.
Or it's actually kind of interesting because a lot of the times now, that's one of the reasons why so many anime gets a lot of re-releases recently. It's to re-update those licenses, and you need to have a release to go along with that to get that to really sort of justify keeping that license. Why do you think Sony makes so many crap Spider-Man adjacent films?
I think this is one. It's like a cult show, really, isn't it?
It's a very cult show. This is the definition of cult show.
And also got more amplification when T4 started their own dub of it.
I was going to say that's.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a needed discussion.
100%.
Hellsing abridged.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I'd say of all the major abridged shows, it's probably the one I've watched the least.
But in my opinion, it's the funniest.
Yeah.
It is.
It's so funny.
Party, we got a party.
There is from what I saw there.
That's what I forgot to mention. The voice actor for Anderson in House of Ultimate, his first major film role was the Scorpion King as the main villain.
No way!
The guy with the swords.
I thought I recognised his voice.
That's crazy.
Yes,
Mamnon, I think he's called. Mamnon or something.
Memnon.
Yeah, Memnon, but it's just so funny. When I was researching, I look up. He was in Scorpion King.
No joke. You know how everyone has this is not the greatest movie ever made, but you absolutely love it.
Yeah.
That's me with Scorpion King.
I think that's a lot of people with this anime, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's the same genre.
I disagree. I think Hellsing Ultimate has a lot of quality to it that means you can't say that this is either bad or mediocre.
I think it's good, but I think it's hurt by a shorter runtime. Because characters do not get much development
compared
to other anime.
I think it's kind of, for lack of better terms, it's kind of progenitor to like Demon Slayer, where it is mostly action and not much character development. Which, in all fairness, in Hellsing, unlike Demon Slayer, this is very much a show that doesn't need it.
No.
No.
Like, it feels like everyone's kind of gone through their shit before the show even started.
It's a slasher flick, isn't it? You know, it's a gory flick.
I would not be surprised if they said Chainsaw Man took a lot of inspiration from this.
Yeah, absolutely,
And you can say this took a lot, from what's it called, fucking Devilman and stuff like that.
Well, Vampire Hunter D, I believe, also was considered a major influence.
I've not seen that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that the last time we got something where they tried to get around broadcast standards to do with just a violent, gory splatterfest was Devilman Crybaby, which despite about the same number of episodes, almost has the opposite problem of Hellsing Ultimate, which is it's trying to do too much in too little time.
Yeah.
Whereas Hellsing Ultimate, it's got all that time, but it's now struggling to fill that time.
Yeah, which is why for some of it they do a lot more gag comedy with the dream sequences. Bruce Willis shows up.
Does he?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he shows up to Alucard as the spirit of one of his guns.
I had no
idea. So, and it goes through his whole back catalogue of films like Die Hard, Fifth Element, Sixth Sense, where it's just references upon references to fill airtime while Alucard's asleep.
This is vaguely familiar. Maybe I do remember that. That's great.
Yeah.
Again, the main. I'll be pretty honest. The main thing I've seen of Hellsing Ultimate is the abridged series.
Yeah.
I've seen more of the abridged than I have the.
Which I mean, in all fairness, again, the abridged series is generally amazing.
I love the fact on One Anime Planet to get the information you need. It has like tags for these things. So I often got like action, horror. That's one England. That's a tag.
That's a tag.
We are a genre.
Yes.
Let's see. What's the highest rated England anime?
Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga.
Yeah.
That doesn't take place in England.
Moriarty the Patriot second, Elliot.
Hey, like that.
Yes, it does.
Ancient Magus Prize there. What did you say?
It does take place in England. Some of it
No,
takes place in
I
England.
said Moriarty the Patriot's there. Like before.
Yeah, no, I'm saying Vinland Saga. Some of that
Yeah,
takes
it
place
does.
in England. Yeah, a lot of it takes place in Wales,
I
but
didn't say it didn't.
No, it was Ali who said it.
Oh, sorry.
Wales is in England.
I know. But some part of it does take place in England, especially the second season. That takes place.
Yeah.
Part of that takes place in England.
That's like saying, oh, the K-On movies comes to London. All right, that's it. It's officially a British movie.
It's number 5 on
Fuck's
that.
sake.
What was I going to say? I think also what draws a lot of people to Hellsing is that like Alucard, first of all, just has immense aura. Like one of the coolest characters out there, and also will appear on pretty much every like OP character list ever.
Yeah, it really feels like he should be in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, he's also got such a distinctive design as well with the red coat and red hat and dual guns.
Seriously, what if they did a Hellsing reboot now? You could get away with putting Alucard in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, easily, or like Dead by Daylight.
Oh, true. Wow, that's true actually.
Well,
I should explain. Ren's got recently obsessed with Dead by
No,
Daylight.
I was just looking at the wiki. I just
I don't think it would really work for Dead by Daylight. Is that game you often relies on killers and villains.
Yeah, not genocidal vampires.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alan
not
Wake.
genocidal vampires.
Isn't Alan Wake in it?
Yeah, he's one of the survivors though.
Yeah, so we get.
You're not exactly going to be fucking having the traumatized author be chasing teenagers.
Scratch would be cool then. Potentially.
Look, we'll get.
Anyway.
I would say though, is there a better vampire anime than this?
I mean, bias, but Seraph at the end.
What would you guys say of what's it? Thingy of the Night, Call of the Night?
Well,
JoJo's.
Not true.
I'd also say Vampire in the Garden.
Well, it's funny because
That's a very good one.
yeah, but it's funny because the top one here, the top two here are like Kizamonogatari Part 3
Oh, Castlevania, fuck.
and Castlevania, which Ren forgot about.
Lol.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That's not what I was going to with the voice cast. The voice actor for the Major appears in Castlevania season 3 and 4. So if you're wondering, do you remember Isaac, the Forge Master?
Yeah.
Yes.
The bald-headed
Was that
African guy. No, his first creation, the giant fly,
Oh.
who can talk. That's the Major's voice actor.
That's so funny.
Just so random, and that's his last major anime appearance for that voice actor.
So
Just as a fly man.
Just as another point, I think I think there's a real big distinction in terms of vampires in the media pre and post Twilight.
Yes.
Like this is where vampires are horrific and like
This is where vampires are scary.
Yeah, they're not sexy at this point. I mean, he is sexy. Like Alucard is sexy.
Yeah.
Calling out.
Yeah, don't say that, man. Have you seen him?
Have you seen this man? Of course he does. Anyway,
His guns are so long.
exactly. He's not even compensating. Anyway, but yeah, like, I think that this
He
is
got that dog in him.
this is
Literally.
literally he
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Alec, I love that. So, just to destroy this.
Yes. Yeah, but
Treat me like I'm London.
The man loves his walks.
Yes.
The thing about it is, though, I feel like that's sort of shifting back now, especially with the release of a lot of other successful vampire fiction that's come out recently, like Nosferatu and Sinners.
I mean, yeah, Nosferatu, it still does have the massive sex element, and so does this show, to be fair.
Yeah, but with Nosferatu, they did a genius thing in that one where
Yeah, agreed.
they turned it around and said, okay, we're going to take this to its darkest extreme possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it still has the what's the fucking Keanu Reeves Dracula.
that
Bram
one.
Stoker. Oh, that
No, that is a great
Yeah.
film.
his accent is
His accent's
horrible.
terrible.
Yeah,
listen-
but it's got Gary Oldman as Dracula.
Yeah, that is just perfect.
Yeah,
so
that's
sexy, Gary Oldman.
So sexy.
So sexy, Gary Oldman.
So I think that has that. Like it still has all of those elements, and him turning into a wolf is what Dracula does in the book, and all of these things. It's very
It's not incredibly close to the book, though, despite what people claim. It's one of the closer ones, but it's not...
Sorry, I meant Alucard doing.
Oh,
that.
right.
So it does borrow all of those classic tropes, and I think it does it really
Yeah,
well.
no, it does that really well, but you can...
It also ties into Bram Stoker's Dracula as well, by how the Nazis were able to create vampires in the first place, by harvesting the body of Mina, who was from the original novel.
Oh, what? Is that how they... Wow.
Yes, so the Nazis excavated her body and harvested her cells to implant in the artificial vampires.
So the original Dracula novel is canon
Yes.
to the Hellsing
so
series.
cool.
That
I
is
didn't know
sick.
that.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it's in the flashbacks within episode 10. They touched on it.
I mean, isn't it the law that it was Van Helsing who took down Dracula and got him working for the Helsing organization?
Here's actually a question then. How many of you guys have you guys actually read the original novel of Dracula?
I have, but it's a very long time
No.
ago.
Go for second
Same, long time ago. But
Yeah, because I had to read it for high school.
it is one of my favourite books of all time.
Of maybe the 3 he's read.
But what they did geniusly in that one, which I'm wondering, did they borrow any idea of this for Hellsing, which is that they kind of make it a found footage book. Because the entire story is told through like
Diary entries.
diaries, newspaper articles, letters to people. It does feel like you're a bit of a disconnect from the main characters at some point. Like, I remember there was a couple of episodes where you barely see Alucard.
Yeah, because it's the whole time he's on a boat in the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah,
Since vampires can't cross
I mean-
open water.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, every time Alucard comes on screen is like he decimates. Well, I think they want also show off all the other characters kind of struggling to establish a threat.
It's like
we don't want Alucard because let's be honest, Alucard is pretty much just an isekai protagonist in terms of power.
It's like delaying Goku to go and finish the big threat. It's like making
Yeah.
him go across
Or it's
Snake
like,
Way,
or delaying Bell showing up in Danmachi.
Yeah.
It's in the case of, I think the dumbest one they did with that with Goku was the Hellsing in the Android saga.
We knew it to get him out because he's too OP at the moment. So.
Really, that was the best idea you had. At least the Namek saga, you had something to work with. So I'd say with Hellsing Ultimate, we picked a show you really like. Is there anything you don't like about Hellsing Ultimate?
I would probably say just how rushed it does feel in that second half, where it's just the Battle of London,
Yeah.
and not a lot happens outside of it.
Again, I would also argue them leaving out all the stuff from the original Hellsing isn't great.
Well, also if they left out for initial housing was just filler.
I mean, like for the first 2 episodes, because the first 2 episodes is literally just like skipping through Alucard's interactions with the police girl and then the 2 brothers showing up.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the original Hellsing spent a bit more time on those opening parts.
I think it
of
was like 4 or so episodes really.
The brothers don't show up to episode 5.
Yeah, episode 5.
And hell, the priest doesn't show up to episode 3.
So I think that's a difficult because again, Brotherhood does exactly the same thing. It skips through it's 1 episode.
We'll get to that in a minute.
No, I know, but
it does do the similar thing. But I'd say another one. I think would it make a good kill count episode? I think Hellsing Ultimate would make a very good kill count episode.
Well, it'd be hard to tell at the very end where Alucard just puts blood all over London to eat everything.
Trust me, he managed to get the kill count accurate in all the Final Destination films. He can do this one.
Yeah, but that was through but in all fairness, that was through like news reports and whatnot. It's gonna be, even if you go by frame, it's gonna be very difficult with this next one.
Oh god, when he had to do 28 days later, that was a bit of a challenge. Okay. I think that covers Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah, but I really enjoy it. I recommend it to people.
I would say my score for Hellsing Ultimate is 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I go as well, actually.
I haven't seen all of it, so I can't really judge. But I'd say it's definitely worth a watch.
The abridged series is 10 out of 10.
Yes.
Yes.
The abridged series is so funny.
I also with the big series, they shorten all the episodes as well, so not between 40 to an hour long.
Yeah.
Now, Elliot, your one's very timely because it just got announced for a second season.
Yeah, literally Tuesday.
So we are a few days out from it. Elliot, give a basic synopsis of your one. Synopsis.
I don't know what synopsis is, but yeah, I'll give a synopsis. So, so the main story is about so just to give the basic premise, one main character is someone called Keitaro, who he and his childhood friend Eiko were cursed when they were young. He kind of became a social recluse, but Eiko sort of helped to bring him out of his shell. And it's about him in college as a where he takes on a part-time job as a tutor, where his first person who he was doing a tutor job for was Eiko's younger cousin, 9-year-old cousin Yayaoi. And the thing is, Keitaro has very powerful supernatural sensing. He really sort of attracts the supernatural and ghosts, and he is a coward essentially. He is really terrified of it. Yayaoi is kind of similar because she has the ability to see into the spiritual world because she has 2 irises in both eyes. And the difference is, she loves the supernatural, and you know what? So does her cousin Aiko, because she gets like a massive, she's like she really loves being afraid. So they essentially go around all over the place, go into supernatural places, or supernatural things just happen on them, and Keitaro is dragged along.
No.
And you forgot to say what the name of it was.
Yeah, Dark Gathering.
Yeah, the
Well, especially
Season 1 now.
yeah, season 1. I don't know when season 2 came out. So
and it's done by OLM as well.
yeah, which
The Pokemon people.
yeah, I had them up. So they've done Pokemon, they've done Berserk, they've done Apothecary Diaries, Komi Can't Communicate, Summertime Rendering,
Odd Taxi.
yeah. Don't Tory Me Nagatoro-san,
Which season of Berserk did they do?
the original. Don't worry.
That's really
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, they've done quite.
Yeah, because if you actually, if you listen to Berserk, a lot of some of the original Pokemon cast are in the dub of that.
Really?
Seriously, the princess is voiced by Misty.
I was wondering why Pikachu always says Griffin.
No, it's
Griffith.
yeah.
Not
Also,
Griffin.
also the original voice actor for Goku's in it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, they also did Beyblade Burst.
What? Wow. We'll find out that every studio today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next episode, a hunt for every Beyblade.
Oh, no.
Next year's best horror anime, Beyblade Revenge.
They also did one of my favourite video game movies, Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva.
Of course you pick out the video game ones.
Yeah.
And they also.
There's so much Pokemon.
They've done all the Pokemon, literally all of them. TV shows and movies.
And yet, Apothecary Diaries is top of the table on this.
Yeah, because Apothecary Diaries is brilliant.
I'm not denying that. I'm glad Summertime Rendering got that high though. But yeah, Dark Gathering is. I watched a few episodes.
So the thing is, this is one that was unfortunately kind of skipped over. Partly because it was on High Dive, partly because it was the same season that Some 100 came out.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because this was my anime of that season actually.
Yeah, I remember.
I really, really loved it.
I watched a few episodes in prep for this one because when you picked it, I enjoyed my time with it.
It's great. So where to begin? So I'm gonna start off with like the main trio because Yaoi, Keitaro, and Eiko are such good characters.
Yaoi is one of the.
Yaoi is amazing.
Yaoi has one of the best designed character in the entire show because it's very unique.
So as I said, she's a 9-year-old who has the ability to see ghosts because she has the twin irises, and she's basically going to all these haunted places looking for ghosts. She is an absolute badass. Mm-hmm. Like, she is way too skilled for a 9-year-old and way too knowledgeable about ghosts.
Yeah, and she's even though she does look like she's cosplaying as Gengar.
Yeah, she's just brilliant. And you know what? The reason why she's doing all this is actually pretty sympathetic and something that I actually really like. So she basically, when she was a kid, her mother and father got into a car accident, which she was in. She was the only survivor of it, and she saw her mother get captured by this really big, really powerful spirit she called the Spectre of Death, and so essentially she's trying to do. She's trying to get her mother back and save her spirit. So to do this, she's going to all these haunts to find spirits and really powerful ghosts and capture them in plushies so she can create an army of ghosts to go after this guy. In other words, this is the ghost version of Pokemon.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it is brilliant.
And it's still better than Yokai Watch.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just really cool. She's like a very deadpan character, but she's so full of personality.
Yeah, it does help that all the actors are very well cast in this one. There's no dub for this one, but
No, there is.
Oh, really?
I watched it in dub.
Oh, really?
I rewatched it in dub.
It didn't come up as a dub option when I did. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah. So the other character, Keito, as I said, he is a.
Also, I want to point out the dub cast has not been listed on this site.
There is a dub, trust me.
I know. I believe you. I'm just saying.
Elliot voice acting all of the characters.
It just annoys me because
just me doing bad impressions of the Pharaoh for each of them.
Yeah, it's all Japanese listeners.
they've only listed the Japanese cast on this one. And again, I didn't know there was a dub, so I watched it in the sub version.
Anyway, Keito is a again, really fun character. He's a massive character, but he still goes to these. He's dragged along to these haunts at first and just randomly stumbles upon them. But he eventually starts voluntarily going because he's trying to figure out a way to break the curse that he and Aiko have. Because he really blames himself for the curse that they both got, and Aiko, as I said, really brought him out of the show and really sort of helped him to get back on his feet. And so he's essentially going to these haunts to try and figure out a way to help her and Yayoi. And yeah, he's a really good character. As I said, he's a social recluse, so he struggles making friends, which is funny because Aiko is the exact opposite. Because on their first day at college, he's struggling to make people. She makes like 20 friends in the first 5 minutes. Oh. And then Aiko, she's my favorite character in this entire thing. She is so funny. So I already said she's a massive fear junkie. She's absolutely obsessed with like feeling fear and fear of dying and everything else. But she is also a bit of a stalker. Okay. So because she is obsessed with Keitaro. I will spoil now because it just happened fairly early on. They do get together. No. Like they get together in like episode 6. But like episode 4, we see just how obsessed with him she is because she has like a secret room covered in photos of him, and she like said I'm not sure. I think it's partly because fear basically comes to him, like when supernatural things happen to him because of his high sensing. So she just sort of latches onto him, and also she spies on him quite a bit. Like she gave him like a pair of glasses with like a secret camera tracker, and she just watches him and cheers him on like when he's in social interactions. Yayoi is fully enabling this, by the way. Yeah. She is fully supportive.
So romantic.
I want to point out, I feel like the manga author has watched Hey-On at some point.
No, here's the thing. A lot of this is also a use for comedy as well.
Again, that's Hey-On.
Because there are like numerous moments where Keitaro is in danger, or like Yayoi needs Aiko to come help, and she's just there immediately, and he's just like, wait, I never told you where we were. How did you know?
So stalking is framed as a good thing in this series.
I mean, the show makes it very obvious they are problematic people. Like it does not say all the stuff that they're doing. All the stuff they're doing is good. They do show Aiko as kind of a problematic person.
I will say as well, the animation...
But the thing is, I like those kinds of characters. I like characters that are quite problematic and who aren't fully morally correct, but you still cheer them on.
You've spoken a lot. So it sounds like there's a lot of kind of like comedy, kind of like elements between the characters. What are some of the more horrific elements?
Well,
is it like a scary show, or is it like
I've said it a few times. I think this is the best horror anime to come out in the last decade. Okay. Like probably the best horror since Higurashi, I would say.
Wow. Okay.
And the reason why is because something that a lot of horror anime and manga I think do is they rely a lot on high body counts. Like they rely a lot on just like sort of all characters dying really easily. Like the whole idea of death is just that's the scary part. Dark Gathering will be probably the worst show out of all of ours to have a kill count on because there are very few deaths. Like obviously we do go into the past and we see like how some of the ghosts died, but it's when it comes to living people, there's not that many deaths. Despite that, this show is fucking terrifying at times, and like it's just the very concept of some of the ghosts and the ways that they can kill you. Like some of them, it starts off quite tame. Obviously, like it's the general ones you'd expect. Like there's the haunted phone booth. There's the haunted videotape that gets you to commit suicide. Things like that. But then the author Kenichi Kondo gets a lot more creative, and it gets a lot more terrifying. I'll warn you that people watching now, there's so many triggers in this. So many trigger warnings. Like we were talking. I've already mentioned suicide, but there's also... But I'd like to know, don't worry, no SA. There's no SA in this. However, it goes all the way up to incest.
Okay, wow.
I'll say that now.
Hooray!
Some of the things that happen to these ghosts because they are vengeful spirits, and we do see some of the things that happen to them. It gets quite fucked up.
So what this is making me think of now is Dandadan, and in particular the mum ghost. You know.
That's a very similar arc.
Yeah.
So how would you say these shows compare?
Oh well, the difference. Well, the difference is they very much portray her in obviously more of a sympathetic light, and sort of almost make you feel sorry for her. This show makes you see the ghosts in a sympathetic light by showing you like why they did what they did, but it very much shows they are very much doing bad things.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it makes you feel sympathetic for them, but not to the point. But also not to the point where they are justified in what they are doing.
Yeah.
I think that's a really key element of horror sometimes. Is like you can see the human element, the reasoning for it, but it's beyond like the actions do not justify it whatsoever. So that's interesting. Yeah,
like a good example that I can think of. One example that I can think of is that there is one ghost in particular who was like quite badly hurt in the past, but Aiko still, after she gets a plushie for it, still punishes it for it. And like genuinely, some of the things you'll see in this show can be like genuinely really scary. Like just as an example, I'm not gonna go minor spoilers, but there's one ghost who's like sort of the whole tunnel thing where you exit a tunnel, you arrive right back at the start of the tunnel, you can't escape. They do that, which again, very generic concept. They make that so terrifying because there's like a bit because like the thing is the tunnel does eventually reach the end, but it's to like sort of an older tunnel where the killer ghost resides, and you see him come out the door. So when they run back, they arrive back at that door. It gets it gets so scary at times, genuinely.
That's something I think JoJo uses something similar in Part 4 actually, but it sounds like and as well like with like Speed Granny and Dandadan, it's all like Japanese folktale. Is that like?
Yeah, it's very much so Japanese. I think ghosts are like very much a big part of Japanese horror, and it's like really sort of utilizes and cements it.
Like there's a certain element of that in like Sadako in The Ring.
Sadako, yes, Sadako in The Ring, Sawako in The Grudge.
Yeah, there's certain
Relation.
until they fight each other.
Yeah.
That happens.
That's a real movie.
That's like a Japanese series of Sadako versus multiple monsters.
That's the Freddy versus Jason, isn't it?
Yeah.
Their equivalent.
And the thing is, the
Girl
fight.
fight.
The thing is, the fight is over really quickly. That's what's annoying about it.
Oh.
You built to this thing, and they don't bloody do it. Also, they do way more about the Ring in that than the Grudge. The Grudge just feels like a tacked on. Okay, so
something I do also really like about it is that is like it could very easily be a show where Yayoi is just the isekai protagonist, where she's like able to beat all the ghosts single-handedly, and Eiko and Keitaro that's just cheer on. But it does become very clear that if just one, when they get into those encounters, if just one of those were not there, they would all dead. They would all be dead. Like there's so many moments where they all like actively help each other and become really supportive of one another. It's genuinely, it's a great show.
You got to be happy that the second season being announced. I mean, it's a very long time to go before a second season was announced.
Yeah, like 2 years, but oh my god, I'm so happy we're getting it. Like again, I love the show and I can't wait to see more of it.
Is the manga pretty accessible?
The manga's on the Shonen Jump app. It's not fully up to date. I think it only goes up to volume 16, but it is past the anime. And actually, if you want my recommendation, I'd suggest reading the manga or watching the anime. The anime is scary, but the artwork in the manga can be genuinely like really freaky at times.
And then obviously, like I think one of the reasons as to why, probably why there's not so many horror anime that are like of the caliber of Higurashi and this one as well. As I think it's hard to adapt from manga, and there's so much more fear in interpreting what's happening.
Higurashi, I don't think is Higurashi's adapted from a visual novel, isn't it?
I don't know.
It was initially a visual novel, then it became a manga, then it was adapted into an anime.
Also, one of the reasons why Junji Ito's work doesn't really translate very well to anime.
Yeah, I think it is a good translation though. Like it is a very,
as we saw with that terrible Uzumaki adaptation.
I mean, it is a very solid adaptation. It's just I think the because you could get away with a lot more when drawing manga as opposed to like drawing anime.
Also, another factor is as well. You got to remember that it's a difference between doing a static image versus doing a moving image.
Yeah.
And also it's sometimes that's quite hard to do and make it work. And you make it as static as the manga panel.
And your imagination is always more terrifying than the reality.
But sometimes I think it actually can work. Like I don't think it's impossible to do a Junji Ito story and make it work in animation. I just think I think people have been so concerned about getting his art style right that they haven't. That they've just been unwilling to try and change a couple of things to necessarily make it doable.
And also Jujutsu just uses the medium of manga so well, like uses all of it to like expand on this horror. It's going to be really difficult to take that and use it as anime.
It's if you want a proper recommendation, top recommendation for me is his version of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It's a really good adaptation of Frankenstein. The way he draws the monster is
Scary.
really well. It's really well done because he's able to make it look like a corpse that's come to life. I mean, that being said, I'm weird because I'm one of the few people. I always am able to answer what's the name of the monster.
The name of it?
Yeah, the monster has a name in the book.
Adam.
Steve.
Correct. Elliot's right.
Adam and Steve.
The monster's called Adam because he's the first man.
Yeah.
And also he talks in the novel quite a bit. He basically says, "Oh, for fuck."
He's intelligent and coherent.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm looking forward to the Guillermo del Toro version. It's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, are there any flaws with Dark Gathering? Maybe the animation.
I was going to say the animation's all right, but
it's not amazing. And as I said, it's not as good. You will struggle to sort of get the artwork from the manga. And I have also warned again about the trigger warnings, but in my opinion, I would say if you're well versed in horror, you don't mind those triggers as much. And also, I feel I have followed the same belief as a lot of other people do, where when it comes to those very taboo topics, horror is one of the best ways to explore them.
Yeah, like if you, I feel like Nosferatu, go back to Nosferatu again, that's a very good example of using a taboo subject, to horror to talk about a taboo subject.
Yeah, and this one does as well, because again, it feels like it has to show all the situations that these ghosts have to be fucked up to show like the kind of
why they'd come back.
Yeah, why they become vengeful spirits, and it's a big part of the horror for that series.
With Apothecary, with the animation, I want to point out this did come out around the same time Apothecary Diaries was coming out for its first season. Yeah. I think most of the budget went to that show.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, Dark Gathering was a pretty niche horror manga. Like it is Jump, but it's in Jump SQ.
Yeah.
Which is the same magazine that does Seraph at the End, Claymore, Blue Exorcist.
You've also unlike Apothecary Diaries, Dark Gathering doesn't have Toho backing it, and that's a big money.
Yeah, the biggest sign as well is that it should go on to High Dive, whereas Apothecary Diaries is on Crunchyroll. To censor. Yeah,
but you know what? The manga does have like a very dedicated fan base. Like when the second season was announced, so many people were happy.
But
and I'm one of them, absolutely.
I would say High Dive's in a bit of trouble because they've lost their most successful anime. But at the same time, they have got a really good one this season. God, what's it? The one Beyond the End of the World.
Well done.
No.
Season 2.
What was the one they lost?
They lost Oshinoko. That's going to Crunchyroll.
Oh damn!
Yeah, that's going to Crunchyroll next season.
Yeah.
No, it's called. God, I've forgotten the name of it. It's one of my favourite shows this season as well.
It's one with the two girls, isn't it?
It's the one set past Apocalypse.
Yeah.
No, it's not the touring after the Apocalypse.
No, it's that one.
It's something End of the World.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Elliot, final thoughts?
Honestly, I'd give the show like an 8.5 out of 10. As I said, it's, in my opinion, the best horror anime since Higurashi. I think if you are an anime fan and a horror fan, you need to watch. you need to watch this because it does so much different to what a lot of other horror anime do.
I got it right first
Cannot
time.
recommend it enough.
It's dust beyond the end of the world, I should point out. No, I'll say I'm gonna say based on the limited amount I saw, I'm not gonna actually give a score because I don't think I've seen enough of it to properly judge it.
Yeah, because you've only seen like 3 episodes.
Yeah, I saw a 4th episode last night before I came here.
You are really not into it
No,
yet.
I'm not gonna score. That's why I'm not gonna score it. I'm gonna play fair.
I'm gonna say now, I loved it in the first half. It gets so much better in the second half. It's 24 episodes. Go watch it.
Ren, we'll move on to yours next, and you're going to justify this shit.
So, actually, you referenced the thing that I think this draws an awful lot of themes from. You referenced Frankenstein. I think that Fullmetal Alchemist takes so many of the elements from it. There is an exploration of science. And,
I feel like at this point, Fullmetal Alchemist is so well known, we don't really need to do a plot synopsis for it.
No, I'm not going to do a plot synopsis. I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, obviously. I'm just saying that's why we're not going straight into it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe just for the sort of base thing of this is alchemy, which allows people to transmute objects into other objects.
It's now 4th on Anime Planet in terms of average rating.
Yeah.
Beaten by both seasons of Apothecary Diaries and Free Ren.
Yay!
And there are certain elements that alchemy is basically the magic system, but it's equivalent exchange. So you must sacrifice something in order to gain something, or in order to change something.
For example, if we wanted to change Ren, we'd have to give up Ren to then make Gigak appear.
Gigak.
Yeah.
And he's here today.
Yeah. Just randomly waltzing through the door.
Wait a minute. Just go back. Apothecary Diaries are beaten Fullmetal Alchemist now.
Yeah, both seasons have beaten Fullmetal Alchemist.
Bloody hell!
I think this means
I think that kind of goes to show. Yeah, if Free Ren hadn't come out that season, Apothecary Diaries would have won.
I think this is also the recency thing, is that most people won't have gone back and watched Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. You know, there isn't anyway. So
you say that Fullmetal Alchemist has been dethroned a few times, but it's always been back to number 1 in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Free Ren has been up there since 2023.
I think Free Ren's one of the ones that can be.
Just to hop on that point, Apothecary Diaries is broken down to 2 separate entries for 2 different seasons.
Yeah.
Fullmetal Alchemist is several seasons. It's like 50-odd episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's only got 1 entry.
To be specific, you've been 64 episodes.
Oh Jesus!
Brotherhood.
Versus 4.
So
that's the thing I don't like about Brotherhood at the end. It does drag out a bit in that final fight.
Incorrect.
I will free admit I've not watched Brotherhood, but I have read the manga, so I do know the story. I know the story.
Yeah.
So there are also taboos in alchemy. Number 1 being human transmutation.
Yeah.
So you cannot bring back the dead.
Shit.
That's a pretty big no.
And it is totally like, so this is where I'm paralleling it with Frankenstein.
Yeah.
There goes my plans to bring back Ozzy.
Is that it's human hubris throughout the show that creates monsters.
Yep.
And it's always with pure intent. And I think this is one of the key defining features of horror as a whole, is it's trying to do something beyond capabilities and going against nature. You know, I mean, that's what the vampires are. The vampires are the very thing that,
It's
the opposite of life.
It's actually kind of interesting when you see how the original series sort of took the homunculuses compared to the new series, Brotherhood. Because in the first one, the homunculuses were the results of human transmutation.
Yes, yeah.
Like that that did happen because people try to bring other people back.
They're all basically humanized versions of Philosopher's Stones.
Meanwhile, yeah, in the new one that is not the case. They were all created by a father.
I mean, as well, we're using elements of religion in this. I mean, the very first episode of Brotherhood deals with a false idol, basically.
No, that's the second or third episode of Brotherhood. It's the first episode of the original series that does.
And it's a few episodes in the original series, is it, or is it just 1?
It's like the first 2 episodes.
I think it's the third episode is the first one where we get they did the recap of the priest story, which is funny because again, the woman that they befriend in that one. Mm-hmm. She never shows up again in Brotherhood.
No.
They did decide to expand her role in the original series.
She didn't come back in the manga either.
I know, that's why I'm saying. Why it would have been pointless to expand her role. I don't.
But immediately, what I think that short arc shows is that religion doesn't really exist in this world, and it is purely logic, and it's purely magic and its power. And even the people who claim to be able to bring back the dead and to preserve your loved ones are liars. there's this whole element of like people being deceived on a wide scale and people seeking power, sacrificing humans, committing violence, warping people's bodies, which I think is
which is actually something that happens now. I mean, if you think about it, how many people? And before you think that, how many times did you see someone claiming to be psychic on the television?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's contacting the dead.
And I want to point out, for the record, at the risk of being sued, you are all frauds.
And
the risk of being sued. I'm gonna say something that will make me even more likely to be sued.
I know. I want to see him bring it on, bitches. Now you got to prove in court.
You're alienating our medium audience. Please come back to us.
Oh bother! How am I going to live with myself?
I imagine all of Calvin's projects is just him calling out people he doesn't like. Even at the away day when they were doing like a big presentation on gay people, he was just most of his talk was just saying, "Come sue us, homophobes,"
which is fair.
Which in all fairness just had me sort of think of that Bo Burnham, the line from Bo Burnham. I'm a special kind of white guy.
So
no,
So I was going to say about the sins as well. Like these.
The 7 deadly sins.
The 7 deadly sins. The 7 sins that humans should not commit. Again, tying it all to religion. Again, tying it to things that humans are not meant to do. But humans continually push themselves to do this in the show.
You are still stretching it.
In all fairness, pride is generally terrifying.
Yeah,
that kid is generally scary at times.
I think lust and envy even as well.
I would say
envy, yes, lust, not really.
Gluttony doesn't end up being horrifying after a short, because he's kind of like a stupid character.
He's scary at first, but he's that goes away.
I think the thing to me though that is the only thing that I think really justifies horror tag would be the Shao Tucker incident.
Do you not think that? Like the fact that Alphonse doesn't have a body and has
I get where you're going with it.
Whether he's human or not.
It's a lot especially them bring back their mother as well.
Yeah,
where she's like a monster.
The horrible monster.
But to go back, I actually feel that's one area where the original did better than Brotherhood. I feel like the fact we got to know Shao Tucker more before we get that reveal means it's more of a gut punch.
But I think
in offense, again, in the manga they do show more Shao Tucker.
Yeah. And I think that's also focusing on that as the sole element of horror in the show, which it isn't. All throughout the show, Ed losing his arm, having to sacrifice other parts of his body to bring his brother's soul back. The fact that his brother is literally a ghost and that there are other ghosts who are questioning whether or not they're human. All of this is to do with, am I human or not? Or, what is humanity in this show, which isn't a clear line at all. And that's why I think it's really interesting.
If anything, in that sense, it's actually closer to Blade Runner.
I think arguably, in some ways.
Although that being said, which is funny I'm saying that because I'm someone who doesn't really like the whole is Decker a replicant storyline in
Well, also to be fair, that storyline was mostly just from the extended cut of the films.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't in the original plan.
Yeah, it wasn't in the book.
No, in the book it's very clear Deckard is a human.
I think all throughout the show, there's all of these philosophical questions, and because going back to Frankenstein for a minute, because where Frankenstein came from, kind of pioneered Gothic horror, came from the Romance movement, which was all to do with...
and both stories are written by women.
Yes, great parallel. So it's all to do with the awe of nature, the power of nature, and humanity should not go against what is natural, because we'll lose every time. What the world, God's power, whatever it is too powerful.
Insert Jurassic Park joke.
Which is why the Philosopher's Stone was sort of the massive overpowered MacGuffin.
Exactly.
However, it did require the sacrifice of multiple people to be made.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I think
I wouldn't call this a Halloween watch, though. Let's be honest.
No, but I would say, as far as I wouldn't even specifically call it a horror anime. But I'd say it's a horror anime enclosed within a shonen kind of
I'd definitely say it has more comedy than horror if you ask me.
Yeah, because I'd say it's got more horror elements.
Yeah, because I was going to say, remind what happens every time you call Edward short.
Yeah, but all of these shows have comedy. As you were describing, there's all of these romantic elements, comedic elements in yours.
Yeah,
and
especially Hellsing.
But the difference is all those are juxtaposed with all the fucking horrifying moments of Dark Gathering.
But I think the same with the comedy in this. I think the core themes are horrific, but the show is...
Incidentally, Alchemist is the highest rated Bones show, which Bones does the animation.
So what are the other studios?
Mob Psycho, My Hero Academia, Bungo Stray Dogs was high up there. Escape the Infinity.
Oh, that was good.
One of my favourite anime movies, Josie the Tiger and the Fish.
Oh, yeah.
Noragami, they did. They did Snow White with the red hair. I really like that one. Over on High School Host Club, one for you, Reese.
Oh yeah, that was a good show.
The original Fullmetal Alchemist.
And one of the Cowboy Bebop movies.
Yeah, so I mean, like, anyone who watches anime should watch this show anyway. I think it is worth thinking about from a horror perspective.
Yeah, but the thing is, it is a long watch.
God, yeah, but I mean,
Like, it's a really long watch.
Still worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's one of my top 10 all-time favourite anime.
Yeah, and it goes so many different topics. Like I mentioned before, but also goes on to the idea of a genocide against desert people, which is very relevant.
And all of that, like, I mean, seeing his trauma.
Yeah.
And seeing his
I mean, really, that's also like some horrors of war, so you can throw that in as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, I think we're done with the whole. Let's see how far we can take this one.
Well, question then: have I convinced you in any way that this is a horror anime?
No.
Horror elements, but not horror anime.
Reese?
Yeah, I echo.
I'm with them. Horror elements, not
Elements.
horror anime.
Okay. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I can't if I've not convinced you, but
You have to face facts. You didn't have anything else to bear to go with. And you
No,
went with
I genuinely think that. I mean, I do think that this show should be considered as one of the. Because, like, tell me another show that kind of deals with it in these ways. Another horror,
the Resident Evil movies.
Another anime.
Yeah, they've made anime movies of Resident Evil.
Okay, so I don't like. Do you think about the questioning like that? Those films have the same depth as Fullmetal Alchemist?
No, but they don't tackle the same themes.
Yeah, but again, it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to talk about to suggest horror anime because again, all of them rely on heavy body counts. They don't really go into the philosophy of it that much.
But I think that's where the interest lies, personally.
Now, also to be fair, Fullmetal Alchemist does have a very high body count. When he dies for the Philosopher's Stones.
Oh yeah,
and it's also one of the most most impactful, memorable moments of horror in anime as a whole is the Shell Tucker thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think that can't be denied that it is like iconic from that perspective.
Oh, we also forgot to mention the scariest part that we've all seen: the live-action films.
God.
Now that's true horror to watch.
Even scarier, Vic Mignogna as a main.
Oh.
No.
I mean, that was terrifying.
All I'll say is if you were considering this a horror anime, I might as well just talked about Berserk.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad show.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Berserk, you don't get to the sort of horror elements of Berserk until after the point of the anime, really.
No, excuse me, the Eclipse.
Okay, fine, yeah.
Well, I think,
I mean, the Eclipse is one of the most horrifying sections in manga history.
I think that's the question of what is like a horror film, or because I mean, Final Destination is like gratuitous and thrilling, and like it makes you sick sometimes.
Actually, that's a perfect. Segue to mine.
So just, I mean, finally then, like, so do you think a horror anime has to be all horror, like that has to be the predominant thing in it, in order for it to be called a horror?
Yes, it has to be the predominant.
I say with horror, there has to be some kind of element of dread or something that alludes to some form of dread, in which I don't think Fullmetal Alchemist really does. It has some horrifying moments, but I don't really think of that and think dread.
Maybe it's just because I'm thinking of other like seminal kind of shonen shows and thinking about their horror elements that they lack compared to this. Actually,
Yeah, but I mean, like to go back to Berserk, that's not really a manga or anime that's like full of dread. But then the Eclipse part happens.
Yeah,
that is like some of the most suspenseful shit I've ever read.
But it also has the fact of you've gotten to know all these characters and like them, and most of them are not making it out of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, you love all those characters. Well, most of them. Fuck that one guy. What's his name? The guy with the black hair.
I know the one you're on about.
Yeah. The one who's got to Gus's throat.
So final thoughts then. Okay, maybe it's not a horror anime, but it is horrific and it's well worth watching. And I want you to think about those horror themes if you decide to watch it.
Okay. So my one's another. It's made by PA Works, who did Buddy Daddies, Angel Beats.
Oh, Angel Beats!
Yeah.
Skip and Loafer.
Another one for you.
Hey!
Your boy Kong Ming.
Oh, wow.
Where is season 2, you bastards?
Fuck's
And
sake, I'm sorry.
one of the most underrated anime, in my opinion, The Eccentric Family. And I really liked A Lull in the Sea.
Well, they also did another.
Yeah, that's what But they also... No, I'm sorry.
Wait, you told me they did another?
They did another.
They did another?
Wow.
Now, I want to point out...
Holy shit, they did another!
No, I want to point out, Charlotte has a 4.1 on here, all I can say is, you thick bunch of bastards. How do you justify that ending? That ending is awful. I'm sorry. The ending ruins any goodwill the show has.
Well, it's not as bad as that ending of the anime we saw where the girl thought she was Zeus. Do you remember she's in the wheelchair?
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Oh yeah,
Do you really have to keep bringing up the day I became God? I've already repented for my sins with that anime.
So PA Works has a bunch of good stuff behind it. Operate Ramen.
Oh,
That's
the horse girl anime.
No way.
Urusai.
Yeah.
But I'd say the fact Buddy Daddies is second place on there amazes me because I love that show.
So good.
What's first place?
It's Makia, When Promised Flowers Bloom. Now you will recognise the author of this, Reese, Maria Koda, because she wrote Iron Blooded Orphans. The problem I have is that Maria Koda, I think, is at her best when she's working with the same director that did Iron Blooded because they worked together on a whole bunch of projects. Yeah. And I feel like her stuff hasn't been that great since she's departed from him.
Talk about another, please.
Okay, so another...
very off topic.
Back to Gundam.
Another is... It was a period piece. It takes place in 1998. And it's basically something awful happened in this middle school classroom 26 years ago. And you're never quite told initially what it is because it's mainly about this new guy who's moved in. And the whole point is... they're essentially, it's kind of a death game anime, but we're completely out of their control.
Basically, there's someone in there who they think is a ghost and they have to ignore them.
You must ignore the ghost at all periods. If you acknowledge the ghost, you will. There's something bad is going to happen. And you sort of think you're not imagining what's going to happen initially. You're sort of thinking, okay, well, if you acknowledge the ghost, it'll be bad luck. Like you'll get really ill, or you'll say. And then you come across the first girl who spots one of them, and
she gets impaled by an umbrella through the neck.
Nice.
Penguin.
Yeah, this shows surprisingly gory deaths.
Yeah, there's some surprise. Even some ones where, and they actually can get some out of nowhere. So like, there's one of them where they think they're safe, so the kid swims out to get something, and he drowns just out of nowhere. But
is that because he saw the ghost, or did he just drown?
No, it's the fact they have to figure out who the ghost is.
Sorry,
and they realise at that point, if they don't figure out who the ghost is and kill it,
everyone's going to die.
Everyone in that class will die.
Okay.
So it's mainly about Koichi, who's the new kid, and Mei, who is the one they initially ignore until it becomes irrefutable. Spoiler: it becomes irrefutable. She's not the ghost.
Okay. Oh, we already said major spoilers. So
yeah. But she has an eye patch and lives in like a doll shop, and she sort of speaks in riddles a lot of the time for most of the season. Mm-hmm. It's like, is she like a real doll that's come to life? Is she actually the ghost? She's doing a massive double bluff on everyone. It really keeps you guessing actually on which one it's gonna be. Who it's gonna be, because you sort of know in the back of your mind it's not gonna be Meg.
It is a very good mystery anime in that sense.
And it also has, in terms of like horror anime, I think its opening theme is the most conducive to a horror anime because it sort of sounds slightly upbeat but in a macabre way. If you ever listen to that opening theme song, it's one of my all-time favourite anime opening themes.
I would disagree. I say when it comes to horror, Elfen Lied's gotta be.
I get what you mean there, Elfen Lied, because it's that, what the fuck is this?
Which is a very high choir pitched voice.
Yeah. But, like you've got several characters that it introduced, but you're sort of like, don't get attached to them, they might not make it out. And you'll sort of know, even if they do make it out, they're only delaying the inevitable because this keeps coming round all the time. It's a repeated cycle, and so you know, even if they succeed, they're just passing it on to the next lot.
Yeah.
Now, I actually think and also the imagery in this is great. PA Works did a really good job doing like dark imagery, like in the doll shop, and they make everything like everything's always shot as if it's like an overcast. There's never any bright colours or bright sunlight.
Oh, so it's in UK then?
I think there does have some comedy in it. Like there is that famous dream sequence where they say, "Okay, if they're going to ignore us, we'll go full footloose in the middle of the class."
Yeah.
Well, you do need comedy to break up the routine elements anyway.
That being said, though, the thing that's like the only comedic scene I can think of in that show that is mostly just horror.
And you are wondering partway through why May has the eye patch on, because it's and oh god, I'll get to my opinions on the ending later, because another for me, the reason I picked it wasn't because I think it's a great anime. I think it's the biggest yo-yo anime I've ever seen. Okay. As in, it hits massive highs but also massive lows. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a great idea, but there's some of them do really stupid shit that you thought, you should know there's a good chance you're going to die because of this, and you do it anyway. You dumb fucks.
Do you think some of that is explained or like mitigated by the fact that they're kids?
It's sort of, but at the same time, they're also everyone's unbelievably paranoid, especially after the first death. Everyone's really paranoid. Oh, what's happening? It does go into like themes like psychological themes like bullying and the way we are able to just treat someone in society as an other. Someone who's worthy of ignorance and degradation because I'm doing it for the betterment of everyone else.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept.
And eventually leads into the idea of mob mentality as well, like the idea of again, some people die because essentially they go into like a Twitter mob pre-Twitter. Again, I actually think doing this.
Yeah, if I remember, like during the final few episodes, that's where we get the biggest body count as, because they're all trying to kill one specific character.
Yeah, they're all trying to kill one person because they think that we will all live if we kill this one person. One life for everyone else.
And yet all the chaos causes everyone else to die instead.
Yeah.
I think there's one person who's like crushed by trying to get out of a window, and then the window falling on them, and everyone not letting up.
There's one I remember where everyone's dead around them. They're like getting up, going, I'm alive, running out, and then it's chandelier.
Lol.
I've pissed myself laughing at that one. I remember that one now.
So in that case, that's my Final Destination then.
The one thing I was thinking is you want to cut to the clip of brace yourself, Rodders.
Oh yeah, for Rodders the horses.
So that really makes because you said
Final Destination is clearly been a big influence on this. This did come out after Final, but that means actually let me double check that because the light novel comes out in 2009.
I'm pretty sure first Final Destination is like 2001.
Yeah,
it was early on.
Yeah, Final Destination really clearly played an influence.
For God's sake, if you need a hint, the guy from Malcolm in the Middle's in it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But it also I like the sort of unknown of who's actually kind of the killer in this.
And like it's not obvious either. They do a really good job.
Yeah, because the one clue you're given is it's a spare desk they're at a spare desk that's not meant to be there. Okay, that's the one clue they have to work with, and the solution they give for that is actually, why didn't I think of that? That makes a lot of sense. That's a plot twist at the end that works. The problem is, it's preceded by a plot twist where you go, why the fuck did you do that?
Now, here's the thing. There's some aspects of the ending I do like. I do like who we learned the ghost actually was.
Yes, I like who we like.
The reveal of the ghost was actually clever.
The reveal of the ghost is clever. The reveal of how we find out who the ghost is really fucking stupid.
Shall we just get into that?
Yes, okay. So
do you want to know what it is? The eye patch Joe knew who the ghost was the entire fucking time.
How and why?
Because that eye can see spirits.
The dull eye is able to tell who's a ghost.
Can I guess who the ghost was?
Who?
The main character.
No, it's not the main character.
Okay. It's the substitute teacher.
It's because they realised we never had a faculty substitute ever.
Oh.
Why was it this?
Sure.
Why for the first time? And they sort of figure out, hang on, why is it for the first time we finally have a faculty support?
Yeah.
And then they realise, it's his aunt who's the ghost. And he has to basically bludgeon his aunt to death after she gets crushed under a bunch of fire and logs. But the thing is, it was when I heard the reveal about the thing, it's you want to cut to that clip of Adam Sandler saying things I could have been made aware of yesterday.
Yeah. So why didn't she say anything?
I don't know. There's no explanation for it, as far as I remember. As far as I remember, she never explains why she kept this to herself. Your friends died. Loads of them died because you said nothing. I knew you were being ignored for most of the season, but at that point you weren't. Say, by the way, this bitch, kill her.
Maybe she just waited until people she actually likes died, and then she's just weeding out the people she hated.
Yeah, but her friend / possible boyfriend was getting very close to dying. I think this is the time to bring this shit up.
Yeah, I like.
And also, they do hint at it early on that her eye can see things that others can't, but then no one ever questions, wait, what is that? See what I mean about yo-yoing? It's like, there's all these great moments, but then there's always like, oh, this is so dumb.
It would always be able to go back to mine, if when Eiko kept coming to where Keitaro was, he never asked how she knew.
Yeah.
It's at least he asked how she knew. No one ever asked, wait, what do you mean your eye can see things that shouldn't be seen? Like, why? Oh, God.
Yeah, I like... So the way you've described it...
And they do tell it well in 12 episodes, I should say. They get this all done in 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Not like a second... There's not like a second or like a prequel.
No, it ends definitively. In fact, the final shot is them delivering a voice recording saying, don't make the mistakes we did. You're going to start distrusting each other. That's going to get you all killed.
So yeah, I like that concept very much. I think that's very fun. I like the unknown. I like it's that classic the thing. You know,
is it weird that I like that they didn't stop the curse? It was more just they had to survive it.
Yeah, I do as well because I feel like it's
I think
the reason for the curse existing. It feels like they haven't done enough to actually say.
Yeah,
this
like it's not. And also, it's just sort of it's not guaranteed that the curse will come.
Yeah.
That the curse will come back, but there is
But
very much a chance.
There's a chance. They didn't know that they'd stopped the curse, but they know if it comes back, they need to give this message out because the last message they got from the people who did it previously was full of shit.
Well, in that case, that's very similar to Final Destination then, because they never defeat death.
The thing about Final Destination is the reason I don't like the Final Destination films is that is just precisely that no one can get out alive. Which to me is a bit of a problem because you then what is the point of establishing these possible outs?
No, the thing is, I do like that for the first. I do like that with one movie. I do like that happened again. I do like that with the first movie because that twist where they didn't actually escape, that was good. Problem is, all the other films we know all that.
I agree, and
we're just going through the same motions over and over and over again.
Like the problem is they keep establishing all these different rules, and then saying by the end, that turns out it was psych. Essentially, even the most recent one where it looked like they were actually going to get rid of that, they still said psych.
Yeah.
And it's
train, boomf.
And then they just said after, it's like, hang on, didn't we establish in Final Destination 2 that counts?
Yeah, but with the whole new life beats old death.
Or if you die briefly, it counts.
Yeah.
I think good horror does have that like persistence because it should be something that can't be overcome by people. Like it should continue.
Sometimes I think you should be able to overcome it. Like I feel like, given the elements of the story of the themes, I feel like, for example, Nightmare on Elm Street, you should be able to beat Freddy Krueger because of what he represents.
So what I mean is more like a victory in a battle rather than an overall war. Like,
Yes.
It should never like.
Well, I mean, go back to Dark Gathering with a lot of the more difficult ghosts they have to fight. They just use the other ghosts that they captured, which in itself is actually really risky because these ghosts are not Pokemon. They don't instantly like you.
Yeah.
In fact, there are some cases where once that the ghost is beaten, they try and then put the curse onto the main trio. So they're not safe from them either.
What I wonder is why we haven't had like an anime version of something like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th.
Because it's not really. It's more American horror, not rather than Japanese.
But even then, we've never had like an anime adaptation of any of the Ring storylines or.
I mean,
we had the manga, yeah.
I mean, one of the Ghosts Dark Gathering is kind of a slasher villain,
and
that's the scariest one in my opinion.
Well, the thing is though, again, because the American version, if you really watch the American version of The Ring, you don't get an element of just how expansive that story is.
Yeah.
It's whereas I feel like anime would be a great way you could do it.
I feel like.
But the thing is, like, we already have live action Ringu movies.
Yeah.
Like that is a massive franchise. Like I don't think you really. You'll really need an anime for that.
I feel like anime as a format, maybe like with trying to attempt Junji Ito and stuff like that. And I don't know if horror kind of comes out in the same way as it does live action manga.
Yeah, I think anime should be a medium. when it comes to things like horror, anime should be a medium that captures things that you would struggle to do in live action.
Yeah.
Which is funny because you get I find it interesting that there's not a huge amount of horror anime, like as we call it, like even in terms of traditional Japanese horror, considering it's from a nation that pioneered a very particular type of horror.
Well, again, that's all live action, really.
Yeah.
I think this is also anime's changed very much to become not more like friendly in a way, but you think back to the violence and the sex and chaos.
So because it's got more of a general audience, it's not going to sell as
It may
much.
not have as much.
I would also argue one sin that was actually caused by another that a lot of Japanese horror, particularly manga and anime, are doing, and that's the over-reliance of the death game.
Yes.
And the thing is, another is definitely the one that does it the best.
Yes.
You don't know who's going to die.
Yeah.
And like it's very subtle. And like I think of King's Game. First time I mentioned this one in a while. Where like you start to get to know a character in King's Game, you're like, oh, you're dying. I had no interaction with you before. All of a sudden, you want to be a hairstylist? Yeah, you're dying.
Whereas in like the first person who dies in another, they're around for quite a few episodes before they die.
No, the deaths don't start till like episode 3.
Yeah, exactly. So that you had 2 full episodes.
Actually, you know what? Most horrific death in another.
I think I'm going with the umbrella through the throat again.
The teacher, I say, because if you remember, he stands in front of the entire class, stabs himself in the neck, and then blood goes all over the students.
Yeah, no, that's horrific. They're gonna the ones left alive after that are gonna need some big therapy bills.
Yeah.
But compared to Hellsing, most everyone I could go was the vampire eating the baby.
Yeah.
if in a Big Ben.
That's what Dio does in there.
Someone watched Alien versus Predator
Yeah,
Requiem.
you know what though? Alucard versus one of the twins.
Yeah.
You could generally see how horrifying that death is.
Yeah. So with Luke, he's limping off on one leg.
Yeah, and like he loses the other one, and he sees, okay, go up the stairs. Oh fuck! So many stairs.
I think the smartest decision of another was making it a period piece. So it's 1998. You don't have massive internet access to look up shit.
Or phones.
And mobile phones are not in very circulation. Your methods of communication are significantly reduced. So that was a very, very smart decision on their part. And again, from what I've heard, it does adapt the light novel very well. But I think Elliot's right. I think it does do the death game thing the best. I feel like death game anime have now gotten way too dumb. It doesn't like even that one. What was it? Not Tomodachi game.
Tomodachi game.
Tomodachi game. That one. Even that you could feel like as good as that was. It was a little derivative at times.
That was actually one I really liked. And no offense, it's not a death game. That's a death game.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say that was more like
because it's more
Kaiju.
It's tempting to judging the strength of one's friendships and also like just how in debt you want to go.
Although to be fair, the goes so far in the game is that most of the people do die.
Yeah.
But it's not solely a death game.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm going.
It's a possibility of death, but it's not like that's the whole premise.
I'd find it interesting that to go to another point now because I would say I'm going to score a 7 out of 10. Like it's nearly there, but doesn't quite make it. But I went on to Anime Planet's rankings of the highest average scores for horror anime.
Yeah.
And I don't think that
the one I would agree with in this is
you got Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Promised Neverland.
That's a good. That counts as horror.
Well, so also Made in Abyss is there.
I'm sorry. How's Kaiju number 8 a horror?
I know.
Yeah,
it's more considered a body horror thing.
The one I would consider the most traditional horror, other than Promised Neverland.
Orb next to it.
There.
Yes.
What?
Why is that?
Everyone's favorite anime, Orb. Damn those Catholics.
They're really stretching it.
They're stretching it with that one. The one I would say is the highest rate from most traditional other than would be Promised Neverland, Castlevania, and Parasite.
Yeah.
It says Hellsing Ultimate was quite high up. So.
I just want.
Tokyo Ghoul, Elliot.
Yeah. Tokyo Ghoul is
obvious one.
One came to mind. What do you guys think of what's it called? Perfect Blue.
Well, that's down there.
Oh yeah.
We did a whole thing about that.
No, I know, but because I don't know if that's like. Would you say that's horror?
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
It's
like proper psychological horror.
Proper psychological.
Like
same as Black Swan.
So I mean, after I watched it, I felt such a dread.
It was extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah,
like I felt so.
I believe Darren Aronofsky actually did cite Perfect Blue as a big influence on
Black Swan.
Black Swan. But the thing that weirds me, like some of the choices here are interesting.
Shadow's House.
Doro is.
Shadow's House. Come on, Shadow's House is not horror.
Give us
It's
season
not.
2.
It's not horror. It has supernatural elements.
Give us
but not-
season 3 of Shadow's House, damn it.
Like,
That show was so
I want
good.
season 2 of Dorohedoro.
I'm sorry, Doro. That's stretching
What
it.
a show. So good.
It's a good show, but you're stretching it,
it's
putting it in
not
that
horror.
category.
It's not horror.
Also, watch Shadow's House. It is great.
Shadow's House is really good.
Yeah, and the whole Attack on Titan.
Uh,
That's not horror. That's a mech anime.
Y'all have,
Attack on Titan.
have y'all watched Lords of Mysteries? 'Cause I
I've
remember-
watched
That
the
one's
first
high up
episode.
there.
What's that? Is that horror?
I don't
No,
think so from what I
no.
saw.
I know people were comparing. I know people were comparing it with Bloodborne, but I feel like
Just
In that case, Undead Murderfar should be up there as well, because that has more horror than a lot of those.
can I say one?
And that's
More,
not even horror.
the one thing I've noticed. it
Wait,
doesn't-
where's Zom 100?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and where's Higurashi?
Well, Zom 100
Wait,
lost.
wait,
a li-
where is Higurashi?
it's here.
Oh,
good.
it's there, sorry.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's just called When They
When
Cry.
They Cry.
Yeah.
Although incidentally,
The
it's
English title.
the Kai series is the one they went for out of all
Like
of them.
Dragon Ball Z Kai. That was a weird tie-in.
I would say the original is the scariest one.
You've got to
The
remember.
eye gouging arc. Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, that I agree. But the one that bothers me the reason why Zom 100 won't show up very high here is because it lost loads of points because of delays.
Yeah.
People deliberately mark it down because of delays, and
Yeah.
I'm
I've heard of Shiki. What's Shiki?
Oh, that one is actually quite. I think Shiki's like quite highly rated in horror.
3.9 here out of 5.
I'm pretty sure that's like quite.
Sera-
I'm pretty sure that's like a vampire-ish one.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, that means Tokyo Ghoul Route A has a higher average score than Zom 100. You thick bunch of bastards.
I think.
Let me double check that before I'm saying
Going
it.
back to maybe the medium of anime, I think because the predominant audience is like young boys, men, for the most part. I'm not saying that other populations don't, but like shonen being the most dominant.
I would argue Zom 100 isn't really horror.
Yeah, it doesn't actually have a horror tag to it. That's why we didn't spot it.
Yeah, I would argue.
I
it's
still
not
class as horror.
It has.
Because it has people being eaten.
It is a zombie.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, but I would say zombies have become so big in like pop culture, they're not really. It's not entirely horror anymore.
I'd compare this to Mob Psycho 100. It uses ghosts and it uses like the afterlife and stuff, but it's not horror.
Incidentally, I'm up to date with the manga. It's gotten really good.
Well, as a 100.
Yeah, no, it's they only do. He only does like one chapter a month, but they are extra long to make up for it. And he he gets them out on the same time. It's like either the 18th or the 19th every month.
I think any anime that comes out that is a horror anime, unless it's a film or like an older one, has to sort of be like nestled in that adolescent experience, because that's the most biggest audience, or it has to be digestible for a young audience.
But that's the thing. Like, what do adolescents fear the most?
Well,
Student loans.
well,
Hey!
exclusion, as you say in yours.
Yeah, the I think it's more nowadays. It would be ostracized on social media.
Yeah, which is.
I know it's not great saying that, but that's what you feel. It's one of the reasons why I think those internet horrors have never worked. They don't get what we're afraid of when we go online. Like Unfriended doesn't get what you're.
You say that the movie Host is good.
Host is a prime example of one we do fear online. The thing is, what we're afraid of online is things like identity theft, viruses taking our information, losing, having people spy on us.
But I also think, like, just with how connected we are these days, like, we know we can find out what's happening in the world, and that's quite existentially dreadful anyway. Like, without, it's hard to sort of.
Like a recent historical example is how fast we all found out that, even though we're on this side of the planet, how fast we found out about Charlie Kirk getting shot.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, whatever you think of that incident, we found out about that so fast.
Yeah.
So you can. I feel like an internet horror is something you could do.
It just has to be not be corny.
Like the one
don't give it references.
Like the worst one I ever saw. The worst of these I saw was one called, and no one will remember this one. Friend Request.
I saw an
I've heard of that one.
It's so bad.
Unfriended.
No, Unfriended was a different one.
Okay.
That's the thing. There's multiple of these.
Yeah.
Like the second Unfriended movie is much better because it actually ties into something scary about the internet, the dark web.
Yeah, but at the same time, well, I say it uses its themes better. I say when it comes to being a horror film, it's not as good.
I would actually not horror
Because I mean, for God's sake, the way they go down into the dark web is via a pixelated boat down a sewer.
Classic.
Made in Minecraft.
Oh God.
I would. It's not a horror anime, but I would actually look back at Serial Experiments Lane again and do.
I say it's horror. I say
and do.
there's some horror elements.
That's like a philosophical, psychological one again. Like all of these questions. How
Which
connected?
I still find it funny that after we talked about it, it became a bit of a meme online.
Yeah, it's because this OP. It's like it's just everywhere on TikTok and stuff.
What's
it's still really liked.
Yeah, no, it always feels like whenever there's something gets back in topic, it's because of TikTok.
Usually, yeah.
Like Skin Dread got big again because of TikTok.
Did they?
That
Pentagram got big because of TikTok.
Yeah.
the weirdest one, there was two that were really weird for me. One was "Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes," and I hate that song so much. And
I think we should wrap up soon.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
But so I would say, very traditional horror anime is kind of, and it maybe is Ren's right, and it is that adolescent audience that is not due for it. But I do think another thing I've noticed recent memory is there is actually a lot of anime producers and manga makers have started acknowledging that audience grows up and still wants to read manga. So we are seeing that stuff that's aimed at an older audience that still likes that stuff. Like,
I wonder if we'll hit critical mass with.
why do you think we're now going from loads of high school romances to lots of office romances?
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I mean, again, Dark Gathering, the two main characters are college students.
Yeah.
Exactly, which is already a breath of fresh air. One of the biggest breath of fresh airs for me as well with the second season of Rascal was that they had moved to college. I was like, oh my god, we're going to actually get some news.
Some 100 The Horrors of Working Life.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we are due some really good older horror anime coming in the next few
It
years.
feels like it has been lax for a good few years.
I would like something like Another or Hellsing Ultimate to come out in the next few years.
Again, Dark Gathering Season 2.
I know, that's why I'm
Watch
saying.
that!
Yeah. And it's better than Devilman Crybaby.
Yeah, no, I'm amazed we went this long
definitely.
without. I mean, we went this long without trashing Devilman Crybaby.
Well, we talked about it briefly, but like it doesn't feel like it has the same place as a lot of horror.
I mean, we've gone into detail before about why we don't like Devilman Crybaby, and we think it was the biggest mistake of the Crunchyroll Awards.
Let's be honest, every Crunchyroll Awards has done a bad choice for Best Anime of the Year.
Yeah, Solo Leveling over Free Rent for
Free Rent and Apothecary Diary. Shut
and
the fuck
Dungeon
up.
and even Dungeon Meshi.
Dungeon Meshi was more talked about than Solo Leveling the season that came out, and they came out the same fucking season.
I'm not being funny. Like, I am.
This is why anime fans should not have the right to vote.
This is exactly what I was going to say. I'm sorry. The masses. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't vote. Don't give
Go back to Goonin on r/anime.
Can I
Old
point,
man's fucking grandchild, I bet, would have received a nomination if it was purely audience.
Oh fucking yeah!
Unreal.
Anyway, so we'll be back next month.
Yes.
Oh, will we?
Ooh! Very good.
Nowhere to go from there.
What's the subject for next month?
We don't know.
We don't know. That's the problem. But we will
That's
have
the scary thing.
I know.
Whoa!
Oh no, we have to ad-lib!
I'll have something ready by next month. But it will definitely not be the last week of next month because I've got to fly to Germany on the last Friday of the.
Whoa! Germany.